Today we're taking a look at the Gerber Covert Folder. This is my buddy Adrian's blade. He just finished his service with the military. We got him back home now, so really happy about that. Happy to have him back around. This is one of the blades that he had carried with him in Afghanistan on his second deployment. If you watch my videos, you know he took my Rat 1 with him and used that for utility purposes. And this just rode in his LBEs as a defensive option, last ditch effort. He bought this in the PX, I believe, while he was over there, in fact. I'm gonna say my first impressions of this is it's really a cool blade. I mean, it's a large blade. Let me get the tape measure here. It's 8.5 inches open. The blade itself is 3.875 inches. But the thing is, for such a large blade, it's really light. When he handed it to me and I was checking it out, I was actually really surprised by how light it is. It's only 4 ounces. I think that's due to the fact that it doesn't have full steel liners in there. You have your liner lock, and they kind of sit into the FRN handles. And then you have the blade has a nice thin profile to it. The scales, they have these grooves in them, I guess for weight saving purposes as well as some extra grip. The handles are made of FRN, which is light inherently. You have a small clip on there, not adding extra weight. It's just really for a large blade like this, 4 ounces is really pretty impressive in my opinion. The blade steel is 154 cm, which I like to see. A lot of times from Gerber you get that mystery steel, you know, you have no idea what the hell it is. I like to see 154 cm in this blade, especially for a defensive option. You want a decent steel. And speaking of the steel, it takes a nice edge. I threw it on the sharp maker. When he gave it to me, it was pretty much well dull. You don't have much time when you're over there to sit around and sharpen knives, so it came back pretty dull when he handed it to me, and I just touched it up with the sharp maker. You see from the bottle cutting footage in the beginning, it's pretty sharp. It doesn't have a ton of belly, so it's really not a chopping or a slicing blade. It's more made for stabbing, obviously, with this design. You have the false edge up here, which you could sharpen. And if this was my blade, I might sharpen it. Maybe from here to there, just maybe halfway, so that way the portion that would be sharpened would be sitting nice and deep down in the actual handles. The deployment's pretty good. It's pretty quick. I wouldn't say it's really lightning fast. I'd say that the Rat 1 actually deploys faster. The Rat 1 has a little bit more heft to the blade, so it comes out with a little more authority. This does have a really light blade, so it doesn't come out as quickly, at least not for me. Not to say that the deployment is slow. It's more than adequate, but it's not. I wouldn't say that it's lightning fast. This is the first blade, as far as I know, to incorporate the interlock locking design. It's a lock that was designed by Michael Walker and Ron Lake. See, you have this little button here, it's implemented really well here because you have these dual choils, and just by the regular motion of locking in on the handle with your fingers, your thumb is pushing down on that interlock, so it's completely locked out now. It rotates, and the little bar comes down right there, and it keeps the liner lock from being open. I'm trying to push the liner lock over right now, and it will not open. It turns it into a virtual fixed blade pretty much. And you just thumb it down if you want to disengage it. One more thing I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about the detent of the blade. The actual, watch this. It kind of, see how it kind of sucks itself in there. It's got a really good detent, and that might actually contribute to slowing down the deployment. But with a blade like this, I'd prefer to have an actual stronger detent and retention in there, especially if you sharpen the top. You do not want that blade coming out on you when you're not expecting it. That's one thing though about the interlock. It doesn't function as an actual blade lock. You can't lock the blade from opening. It's only locking it out completely once it's deployed. This blade is half serrated. I'm not a huge fan of serrations. but I would like to see these more pronounced or more aggressive. The Gerber serrations, as far as serrations go, they're just, I don't know, they're kind of plain. There's really nothing to say about them. I'd like to see them a lot more aggressive. I mean, if you're gonna put serrations on a blade, they might as well be, I don't know, they might as well be pretty wicked if you're gonna throw them on there. I prefer just straight, plain edge blades. A lot of people like serrations. I'm not a huge fan of them, especially in a defensive option. I'd rather just have that full plain edge. It makes it easier to sharpen. I'm not really using this for utility tasks, so the serrations, I just don't really see the point of them. But yeah, there's not much else to say. It's actually really a pretty impressive blade. It just feels cool. It's got that cool factor to it, like when you have this in your hand, you feel like you should be like trying to extract information from a detainee or something. I don't know. It feels like a Jack Bauer blade or something like that. It's strange. I don't know. It just has that cool factor to it. There is a larger version of this, which I believe is called the Gerber Covert Folder. I believe this is 3/4 scale of that. So if you're looking for an actual larger version, maybe look at the Gerber Covert. But this is really a nice size for a defensive option. 3.875-inch blade, like I said. Overall 8.5 inches, and it just feels really good in the hand. That blade reaches out pretty far, almost 4 inches. It definitely would be usable as a defensive option. It's up to you whether you like folding blades for defensive purposes. I usually prefer a fixed blade. But I gotta say, this blade, the more I carry it, the more it's kind of winning me over. It's just really cool. I don't know how to explain it. I just really like the blade. Not much else to say about it, guys. This is going for an average price of around $100. I'd say that's within reason. If you could pick it up cheaper than that, if you could get it for 85 or 90 bucks, I'd say it would be a nice deal. I definitely would recommend it if you're looking for a folding defensive option, which won't break the bank. Maybe take a look at the Gerber Covert Folder. Like I said, if you're looking for a larger one, check out the Gerber Covert. But that's about it, guys. I think I'll do some quick macro shots, and we'll finish up. So later, guys. Here's the macro shots. See, I got a little scuff on the blade there. Need to clean that up. There's the serrations. Like I said, I'd like to see those be a bit more aggressive. Thumb stud. See, there's the inner lock right there. Liner lock. There's the pocket clip. Handle scales. Alright guys, that's it. Later.